Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia. Let's talk books. Today I'm here with a review of Murder in Westminster by Vanessa Riley. Vanessa Riley has quickly become one of my favorite authors. I originally found her through her historical romances, which were one of the few historical romances with actual diversity in them. And then she started writing historical fiction, and I absolutely fell in love with her writing. Murder in Westminster is a historical mystery. If you like cozy mysteries, pay attention because I think there's a chance you're really going to like Murder in Westminster. If you like historical fiction, I think you will for sure love Murder in Westminster. So, the other way I am trying to sell this book, because I really ended up loving it, is that it follows a black heroine in Regency London as she is fighting for abolition and solving murders. If that's not enough to get you to pick up this book, then it's clearly just not for you, right? But okay, beyond that, the themes are going to keep me going back to this series. There's so much of what I already love in books in this particular book, and there's a lot of hints of what is to come further on in the series. So, first off, if you like historical fiction, one of the key elements you're going to like here is all the inclusion of abolition. Our main character is fighting for abolition, but she's also a black woman, a blackamoor in Regency London, and she's very careful about what she's allowed to do, what's acceptable and what's not. She's obviously pushing the boundaries of that, but she's very careful about the way she does that. Our main character has married a wealthy white man who is a baron, and so she holds a particular kind of status. That status brings with it protection, but also a lot of scrutiny. And so she has to be careful, right? She can't act in the same way that like some of her friends might be able to. At the same time, being a baroness comes with quite a bit of power, right? It doesn't eliminate all racism, but it brings quite a bit of power, especially the money that comes with the title and with being married to a wealthy white man. Now, the things that come with marrying this man is also that he's away for most of the time. In fact, in this book, we don't get to meet her husband. Her husband's off. We see him through the letters he has written her about what he sees of the slave system in the Caribbean, for example. And she is trying to use those letters as a way to help the abolitionist movement, right? So the husband is absent. In his absence, she has a whole support group of people around her, a group of side characters that is really interesting. So the first is her neighbor. Now we get to meet the neighbor because the murder happens basically in between their houses. At his house, but the body ends up in her house. They're next door neighbors. And our heroine needs to investigate this murder that is deeply connected to this neighbor. She and this neighbor have had a lot of problems, though, mostly because of their dogs. Either way, they are not on good terms, but as they get to know each other, there's a kind of friendship that develops here that is really interesting. Like, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with this friendship because I find it really interesting. She also has a godfather that has taken a very special interest in her, does not leave her like just to fend for herself. He is in touch with her, visits her often, provides guidance and advice. I really liked that aspect. She also has a friend that spends a lot of time with her. And so I like that, even though she's not close to her parents anymore since she got married, her husband's not there, she's developing the support system around her that I'm willing to bet is going to continue to play a key role in further books. There's also another missing person in her life, and that is her sister. In fact, our main character believes that the murdered woman is initially her sister. Turns out it's not, but she's estranged from her sister ever since she got married, and we don't quite know why. We know the sister's a bit of a wild card, that she's disappeared, that it's hard getting a hold of her or even being in touch with her. But we don't know why. We don't know what's going on with the sister at all. And like, that's just a question mark in this whole, throughout the entire book. And that's one of the things that kind of keeps you interested. Like, the groundwork is being laid for this story to go on. And so when I say that, it's just one of those really great things. When I read a book that is clearly meant to be a book in a series, I want something that's going to lead me to want to pick up future books, right? Because the mystery in each book is self-contained. Like, that has to be solved in each book. That's like the nature of these kinds of serialized stories. So we have to be interested enough in the main character. We have to be interested enough in the side characters. Like, there has to be some of these things that are strong enough that tie the whole series together. And I'm already seeing a lot of that here, right? In terms of the mystery, there's a lot of first books in series have to do a lot of setup. They just do. Period. So a lot of first books in series suffer from that, because the mystery then ends up having to play a secondary role. And at times that happens here, but overall, the mystery is pretty satisfying. So I'm waiting to see how future mysteries are handled by Riley. I hope they get even more interesting. This one had some interesting features in it, but really what grabbed me in this first book was our main character and the cast of supporting characters around her. That is really what caught me. So that's a really good sign for a series. I think that's really it, right? Like, if the mysteries alone are not always what does it. Like, I watched a lot of serialized television, and the mysteries alone are not the thing. Like, the mystery has to be interesting enough, but it alone is not the only thing that keeps me watching. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun reading this series. If you're watching this on Tuesday, the book just came out. I'm really hoping this book does well, because I want to read more in this series. I just really want to read more. I want to read more of Riley's just historical fiction, and it's really fun as you're watching a writer develop. Like, I'm really excited about Riley's career, about where it's gonna go, what else she does. Like, it's really kind of fun. As much as I love discovering a writer that already has a huge backlog, I also really love discovering someone as they're at the beginning or in the early parts of their career, because then you feel like you get to watch them really develop something amazing. And that's how I feel with Riley. Plus, she's also a lot of fun to watch at panels. She's funny, really interesting, incredibly smart. I met her at the LA Festival of Books when I took my mountain of books for her to sign. And next time that she is at an event near me, I'm going to take another mountain of books to sign, because I'm just really excited about her work. So I will leave it there. Let me know if you're planning on picking up Murder in Westminster, if you have any other historical mystery recommendations, because I'm really into them at the moment. Like, if they're diverse mysteries written by a writer of color, like, please leave me those recommendations down below. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.